asked her the question, what is freedom? She said that freedom to her was seeing her children prosper, whether that meant them graduating from university or being able to help their soon-to-be bigger family, or even watching them run before they could walk, or slipping over the clear murky puddles that she knew adulthood would bring, or being there to support them when life comes pouring and pattering down.
I asked her the question, what is freedom? She said that freedom was something that couldn't be bought, couldn't be taught, couldn't be taken. And when I asked her, she said that we're trapped, that the system had created those involving cracks and...
She told me to think about that. Think about the fact that freedom is what you create from your mind, because if we look at the bigger picture and press rewind,
we come to find that our ancestors create their own sense of free. Religion, faith, spirituality. Now let's think unconventionally. In the Oxford Dictionary it reads, the power or right to act, speak, think as one wants. In a world where we must create our own sanity, it's difficult to overcome being destructive.
When I asked him the question, what is freedom? This is what he told me. That freedom was his ability to live unquestionably, never trapped by the laws of our society. He said to me that freedom was to be able to exercise,
to run endless paths of hellos and goodbyes, to feel whatever he wanted, whether it was love or resentment, to smell the fresh air of the foggy nights brought upon us by God, to smell the fresh pot of food that will stretch to our whole family.
A community, culture, brought down by generations of black intelligibility. That's what he told me. To be able to see the writings on the wall that read, there will always be the anticipation of hopefulness and security.
Now let's define freedom. Financially, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, fortune had always been the expectancy to be rich in wealth, to have the funds to go wherever desired.
Or was it allowing herself to be vulnerable and love somebody undeniably, to be receptive to empathy? She found herself praying and pleading continuously to her highest consciousness that she would soon receive her sense of self. I asked her, what is freedom? And she told me, it means being at one with who you are, never who you think you should be. And that was always the seed. Freedom was the capability to stand as someone I wanted to be. And I believed in that seed.
Faces that screamed that she was losing her mind, and as she passes through her life, she comes to find
that freedom was to be able to exercise, to run endless paths of hellos and goodbyes, to feel whatever he wanted, whether it be love or resentment, to smell the fresh air of the foggy nights. Family, a community, culture, brought down by generations of black intelligibility. That's what he told me. To be able to see the writings on the wall that read, there will always be the anticipation of hopefulness and security. Now let's define freedom. Financially, emotionally, spiritually, mentally.
Endless paths of hellos and goodbyes. To feel whatever he wanted, whether it was love or resentment. Smell the fresh air of the foggy nights brought upon us by God. To smell the fresh pot of food that will stretch to our whole family.
Faces that scream that she was losing her mind, and as she passes through her life, she comes to be branded as the angry black woman. I am a black woman, and freedom to me is being able to speak about my journey freely and not apologizing for somebody's inability to understand me. Do you understand me? And selfishly, she looked to others for freedom. I asked her, what is imprisonment? She told me it was being suppressed by her peers, sitting in a room full of people and never knowing who she really is. It was putting on a brave face whilst trying to fit in. It was being too scared to speak up in a discussion about white supremacy. I asked him, "What is imprisonment?" And he told me it was not being able to walk along the ragged, bricked roads of the city and having to look over his shoulder. He said to me, imprisonment was hearing those sirens of those brightly coloured cars and not being frightened instantly.
Tryna rain on thunder, till the storm I'm you. Tryna rain on thunder, till the storm I'm you. Lord forgive me, I've been running blind and truth. I'ma rain on this bitter love, tell the sweet I'm you. Freedom, I can move. Freedom, come and loose. Singing freedom, where are you? 'Cause I need freedom too.
And when I asked myself what freedom was to me, I had to think. I had to breathe. I had to tune into my own beliefs. Because freedom and imprisonment became nothing but a concept that, in the end, never really had any depth to it.
We had always been met with a social construct, and I am just not here for it. Being free means being whoever the fuck you want to be. So I will unleash my inner beast. And when something offends me, I will get angry. And when something brings me sadness, I will allow myself to feel.